Picture a world where the people you work with are your greatest rivals. Now picture that world on the glittering stage of old Hollywood. Welcome to the life of Bette Davis, a woman whose feuds were as legendary as her acting skills. You might think you know drama, but you haven't seen anything until you've peeked behind the curtain of Bette's battles. Sure, you've heard about her clash with Joan Crawford, but that's just the finale in a symphony of conflicts that defined Bette's career. Buckle up, because we're about to dive into a world where the real action happened off-screen. Let's start with Miriam Hopkins, Bette's true nemesis. These two couldn't stand each other, both on and off-screen. During The Old Maid and Old Acquaintance, their hatred boiled over. In one scene, they were supposed to fake a fight. Instead, they ended up slapping each other for real. Bette later said Hopkins would do anything to upstage her, even if it meant sabotaging the scene. Then there was Herbert Marshall, Bette's co-star in The Little Foxes. Bette was a perfectionist who knew exactly how she wanted every scene to play out. Marshall was more laid back, which drove Bette up the wall. Their clashing styles turned the set into a war zone. As Bette's career progressed, her reputation only grew. Take her clash with Faye Dunaway during The Disappearance of Amy. Both were known for their strong personalities, and sparks flew on set. Even late in her career, Bette wasn't about to back down from a fight. Susan Hayward was another victim of Bette's temper. They butted heads constantly while working on Where Love Has Gone. The set became a battleground of egos, with neither actress willing to give an inch. But it wasn't all bad blood. George Brent was Bette's co-star and lover. Their passion often spilled over into their work, creating fireworks on screen. However, mixing business with pleasure wasn't always smooth sailing. Even when Bette respected someone, like Anne Baxter in All About Eve, tension simmered beneath the surface. Bette's intensity could ruffle feathers even when she admired her co-star's talent. Tallulah Bankhead, another larger-than-life personality, locked horns with Bette during Stage Door Canteen. Two strong personalities collided, and the results were explosive. Directors weren't safe either. William Wyler, despite directing some of Bette's best work, often found himself at odds with the fiery actress. They may have made movie magic together, but behind the scenes, it was more like a battlefield. Margaret Lindsay felt Bette's wrath during Jezebel. These two just couldn't see eye to eye, turning the set into a constant source of tension. And of course, there's the famous feud with Joan Crawford. Their rivalry spanned decades, reaching its peak during Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. The hatred between them was so intense, it became Hollywood legend. Bette Davis wasn't just an actress. She was a hurricane in human form. She tore through Hollywood, leaving stunned co-stars and frazzled directors in her wake. But here's the thing. All that drama made her unforgettable. In a town built on fakery, Bette was always real. She fought, she raged, she loved, and she acted, all with the same fierce intensity. That's why, years later, we're still talking about her feuds. In the end, Bette Davis proved that in Hollywood, making waves is just as important as making movies.